It's okay.
No, keep going. Keep
I
going.
was the lead snare drummer. So these guys taught me the moves. We weren't like that line dance thing, but we did some of that kind of stuff. So I'm a white guy out there. All my friends are throwing hot dogs at me and laughing at me. But it was a good thing. Getting back to the point, I had perfect meter. I couldn't afford a drum set for 5 years. Just like my car. I couldn't afford a floor. I looked at the street when I started. A hot date, I'd reprime the rust just so I had fresh primer. This is all true story stuff. Paper route.
So you became a drummer for the big bands.
So, yeah, a session. So I was doing tuning for some of the guys. I'd go in and do the tuning, get the drums right. This is when Mutt Lange was doing like Def Leppard. We were kind of in that same genre, the big cannon, put 4 bass drums together and mic them. But they had bad meter. These guys had played and learned from the sheet music. So depending on what they were, their extracurricular activities or whatever, they were pushing in the choruses and pulling. When you have a SMPTE time code stripe locked to a synthesizer that's to the, it's a machine. You can't do that. And you can't change the speed because all the tones, you go a little flat, a little, sharp. You can't do it. It has to be perfect. So the guy comes in, I won't get into the name, but it was one of the major studios, and his hand that handled the stuff. We were doing recording in San Diego, but billing LA rates. This is back to pay-to-play days. And statute of limitations has expired. I just won't mention the names. Guy walks in and says, do you think you can retract that in perfect time? Because that's never going to work. But this guy was, you're not going to tell him that. So as soon as they left, I sat down there with Mike Harris, my old engineer, and we retracted. They came in the next day, the drummer didn't have a clue. And then they said, thank you very much. They handed me a little, literally, like those, you buy the beer in a little brown paper bag with $5 grand into the thing, or retracting a bunch. And then that word got out and went to the tops of some of the other labels. And so I was like, they'd send them down and I'd tune them up. Some guys are fine. Some guys, a lot of times if I go out on the road, it was because somebody's wife was sick or they wanted to.
And which bands did you play with?
Let's put it this way. Almost all of them. I mean, I was in the Troubadour, Roxy, Whiskey, the Rainbow Club. I used to love that place. I was up there about 3 years ago with Mitch, my stepson, and my picture was in one of the halls, one of those, that's the whole era that I forgot. But when I watched that Motley Crue movie, I was related to Nicky Sixx. He was his wife, first wife, Brandy Brandt, was my brother's wife's sister's kid. So this is back in the days we all loved the hairspray and the tight shit. If you lit a match in the dressing room, I swear to God, it was like a Moab. We'd blow up the whole block. We kept Aquanet in business. You should have gone long on Aquanet back in those days, but I did that for years and years, and that's how I built up the money. It was just my little cash. It was my sideline job. It was because I didn't have any money that afforded me that opportunity. So life's kind of funny how it throws things at you. And that's what I did. I toured with tons of them, or I was a drum tech.
Name some names.
Fuck. We worked with, we started with the Squire shit was the beginning, but I ended up doing crap for, everybody. I mean, between Jay and I, Jay Shellen, he's drummer for Yes, he just got the nod to go to Journey. We were number 1 and 2 for a while. And Drummer Magazine wanted to do a picture, and I didn't want, the guys used to come up and get your picture and shit when you're at the table. I hated that. I don't know why these guys like that. It's like, you don't have a life. I hated it. It's 35 years I quit, but we went out with, I started with Mickey Rat. Now, that became Rat. Round, down, round, Bobby Blotzer. Okay, so Bobby Eisenberg was local. Bobby got in trouble, and then there was all these Bobs. And so I used to work with him. They got it. There was a guy. What?
Bob Rock.
Yeah. But they used to work with DeMartini, Rob Crosby. I knew Rob was going to get in trouble because he was sharing needles. And this was back when AIDS was big. That's what killed him. He went out on the road, and then Steve Piercy. Rob was a guitar player, though.
Bassist or leader.
Sarzo was. What's that?
Bobby Blotzer was rhythm guitar. He was back.
No. Bobby Blotzer's a drummer.
Oh,
He's the drummer for Red, yeah. And then DeMartini was the lead guitarist.
Yeah.
Steve Piercy, this is the singer.
Piercy was the lead singer, yeah.
He was the lead singer, but he
For who?
For Rat.
Oh,
They changed the name. We dropped the word Mickey and they went to Rat.
Okay.
And they
You moved to San Diego.
they were a San Diego band, yeah. You know, remember J.T. Lee from Teaser? No, it wasn't Teaser. What was the name of his band? I think it was Teaser. They named after that Tommy Bolin. He went on to play with Ozzy Osbourne after Randy Rhoads got killed in that airplane accident.
Badass band you put together.
But I was just a hired gun. I get a phone call, hey, we need you for a week or a day, or the drummer OD'd. When I did the thing with Squire, they wanted Carmen Apiece.
What's the biggest stage you've been on?
Oh, fuck. Well, it was in that picture. I was assistant. I was working. There was two of us.
Like Live Aid? Did you do Live Aid or anything like
No,
that?
I did not do that. But, you know, didn't your friend, didn't he broadcast that thing?
Yeah, Doug, yeah.
He does.
Well, I was wondering what, like, when they did...
There was a Russian gig Metallica did. It was fucking maniacs. That was just I was like what you'd call equivalent of a drummer grip, you know. But it was just the experience to stand on a fucking stage with 1 million people.
Yeah.
And these guys are fucking nuts.
Yeah.
The Russians are like, anyway, they take this shit seriously. But it all rolls into, it's just, they're musicians. It's like a job. People think it's all this. No, it's not. You're just, and some of the best musicians never get known. Favorite artist, I told you, James.
You go to New Orleans, it's every incredible musician on the planet.
You're right. There's so many of them now.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, you know, Richard Waters was a great blues guy, and in Nashville, I have favorites, guys that I always loved to play with, but you know,
They
it
are.
just got, it was
They
the
are.
same. It was
Name the
same-
favorites.
It was no, I mean it was just like Ry Cooder for blues. I like Delta blues. If you really get into this, it all starts with the Delta blues, and that's what we were going to do. That's why I was in Fiji. We wanted to do the history of American rock and roll and tie it to the visuals of that time era to let the world see all this shit we've gone through. We have swam through miles of shit to get to the shine, and it's still there. It's still the greatest country in the world, period. There's no doubt. Here, if you can think you can do it, you just got to apply yourself, all right? You don't get distracted.
Very good. Thanks, Bob.
Dr. Fantastic, have a good day.
Overpopulated cities around the world have caused people to become a greedy, selfish, and litigious society. Would you like to be happier, live longer, never be forgotten, and help make the world a kinder, more civil place? It's actually easier than you think. Every day you're asked, how are you? Instead of saying good, say I am fantastic. It will make you look better, feel great, and reduce your stress. Making the world a better place starts with each person. Please join the Be Fantastic movement today. What you want to be, you can be. Be fantastic.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say,